Broadcasting from Manhattan Beach and the World Wide Web, you're listening to CHSR HealthyLife.net.
As a service to our listeners, this program is for general information and entertainment purposes only. CHSR HealthyLife.net does not recommend, endorse, or object to the views, products, or topics expressed or discussed by show hosts or their guests. We suggest you always consult with your own personal, medical, financial, or legal advisor.
Good afternoon. I'm Ralph White, and we are Consulting to Win, and we're here to coach people to win in the game of business. We define winning as results you can be accountable for, something you say you want and you achieve it. Business is a game, and we coach people to play in a win-win model to maximize their success. Our purpose is for you, the listener, to experience the value of working with a business coach. What we are asking you to listen for an idea or a possibility that you will put into action to grow your business. Remember, no results, no action. I'm here today with one of our staff members, Bonnie Landau, and she's a coach on staff with Possibilities Unlimited. And we have a guest with us today, and his name is Wade Sloam. And he's one of our coaching clients. And Wade is he's the president and founder of Sedoxia Capital Management and the author of How I Managed $20 Billion by Age 32. In addition, Mr. Sloam is in the media go-to resource. He has been seen on ABC News and quoted in the USA Today, New York Times, Dow Jones Investor Business Daily, Bloomberg, Smart Money, among other media publications. He is also a publisher of the investment blog, InvestingCaffeine.com. Bloomberg identified him as the second youngest manager amongst the largest 25 active managed U.S. mutual funds in 2005. He has many other credentials. He's a very talented gentleman, and it's a pleasure to have him with us today. Wade, how are you today?
I'm doing just great. Thanks for the introduction, Ralph.
Yeah, so I'm delighted that you had the opportunity to be with us. I know that you're a CFA and a CFP, and you've got a lot of credentials, and you've managed a lot of money, and I'm interested in seeing this is positive talk radio, and the fact that you're a financial planner, and it's a pleasure to have you on here because you are the only financial planner that I'm aware of that is talking positive in this marketplace.
Yeah, there's so much doom and gloom out there right now, and the funny part is a lot of people are missing the train. The train's got on board and it's leaving the station, but a lot of people are being left behind. So, it's my job to let people know where the opportunities are so that they can plan for their retirement.
Well, I want to get sort of, a lot of our clients are talking about the marketplace. They're talking about what's not working. They're talking about their concerns. There's a lot of really worried people out there, and every time we get a new client, they start out with the market. They start out with, business is down. They talk about, all of the fears that they have about it. And given your expertise and given, the years of experience that you've had at looking at the market, I really would like you to give some, our listeners some insight as to what's available for them in this marketplace.
Yeah, I think one of the largest problems that people face when you go through these tough periods is to really put it in perspective. And because we've been through tough times many, many times in our nation's history. So, we've been through wars, assassinations, crises, currency crises, recessions, SARS, swine flu. I think you get the picture. I mean, we've been through it all, and what you see is that, just go back to 1973, 74. We just got through a war, Vietnam War. We went through a huge recession. We had a president that's being impeached. Unemployment numbers were through the roof. And what you see is that the market's been up 15-fold from then. And if you would have read the headlines back then, they would have been very similar to what you're hearing today. And what you find out, especially in my world, is when everything's down is the best time to take advantage. Step on your competitors' throats and really invest for growth when everyone else is pulling back. That's when the opportunities are there. The opportunities are not there, or you find much fewer opportunities when everyone's bullish and ebullient and excited. That's what I think people have a tough time seeing is really to have a historical perspective. So we've been through plenty tough times, and we're already starting to see some positive indications in the economy. Our unemployment actually went down last month, although slightly, and we're starting to see industrial production pick up, and might even see positive GDP this quarter. So, the tide's turning, although the sentiment, some people are still, stuck in panic and fear, and unfortunately, they're going to be left behind.
Yeah. So the other person I want to introduce, like I said, is Bonnie Landau, the coach on staff with Possibilities Unlimited. And Bonnie, what are you seeing, with the people you're working with, in your business, in the coaching?
What I'm saying is the people who are aware that the economy is just what it is, they know that marketing more and increasing their network just provides more opportunities for sales. People are still looking to live their regular life and buy things that they would normally buy. They're just being more savvy about who they choose to do it. So that just means that your marketing message has to spread wider, and you have to be very clear about what you're selling and how you can make a difference in someone's life.
Now, I'm seeing that, in the past, if you were taking, 10 units of effort to market, in this marketplace, it may take 20 units of effort to produce the same result. So if you're only putting out 10 units of effort, you're going to get half the results that you got before. So, so it's going to take more effort. But if you're living in a paradigm of, things are bad and things are going down, you're going to end up with that kind of a result. Your attitude, really, how you perceive things has a tremendous impact on the results that you're going to produce. And when you talk to someone like Wade, who knows the market, knows the numbers, I mean, like I said, he has a book, and I happen to have a copy of it, a signed copy of it here, of how I managed $20 billion by the age 32. I mean, we're talking about a gentleman that, has managed a lot of money. I mean, that $20 billion, Wade, that's a lot of zeros to keep track of. I mean,
Yeah, it wasn't monopoly money, and it's very, very serious job, and people relied on me to make the best decisions for them. And like I said earlier, it's very counterintuitive of when you find the opportunities, you need to take advantage when there are the opportunities. Unfortunately, the average investor is usually chasing the performance, and it causes a lot of long-term damage to their financial futures.
Well, working with you is like working with a business coach. It's like, find someone who's an expert, find someone that, knows what they're doing, and, get their advice and then take it.
Right.
Don't argue with it. Take it and follow it. You find somebody you trust. So, like, how do you choose, a financial advisor, Wayne?
Yeah, well, part of the problem is, and I have a very specific view of my industry, is there's a lot of salesmanship going on. So the industry is largely driven by commissions. So a lot of these large brokerage firms, they have employees that have sales quotas that they need to meet. And, I did this. I worked for some of these brokerage firms when I was in college, and they handed me a phone book, Beverly Hills phone book, and I had a script, and I started calling up people, and if they didn't hang up on me, I'd hand them over to my broker that I was working for, and they were selling products. They weren't selling solutions. They didn't have the best intentions as far as the client's needs. So one of the biggest things that I encourage people in my industry to do is to figure out how the advisor is compensated. Is there a conflict of interest? And I'm what's called a fee-only advisor. So, Ralph, if you invest $1 million with me and I charge a percentage of your assets, my incentive is to grow your assets because then my paycheck goes up. If your assets go down, what do you know? My paycheck goes down. So there's no conflict of interest. So that's number one. Number two, it's experience. It's no different than your industry and a lot of industry. People are looking for experience. You've gone through and studied lots of businesses. You've gone and experienced many problems, and you've coached people to resolutions. Well, it's no different than me. I've managed money for decades and followed the market for decades. I've seen the mistakes, and I've made plenty of mistakes myself. But with that experience, really separates me from the other people. So I encourage anybody looking for advisor, look at the credentials. Do they have a CFP, Certified Financial Planner? Do they have a CFA, Chartered Financial Analyst? Do they have a master's degree like I do? Those types of things. So those would be the two key areas that I really highlight.
So it's the experience, it's the credentials, it's the how they get paid. Are they aligned with you in producing results? Those are the key areas. I very much are aligned with you in that arena, so that there's no conflict, there's no hidden agenda when you're choosing someone to work with. That's an excellent point. So that you've got a partner in what you're doing, so that you've got somebody that's in your corner, that's for you to win.
Right.
Yeah. Excellent. So when you're working with someone, and I imagine you encounter the situation where you're working with someone, and then they get someone else gives them a hot tip, or someone else comes in, and you've got a plan all laid out for them, and then they come in with some other, they read something, or they come up with some other ideas. How do you deal with that?
Yeah, it's a good question, and I'm in the unique position to filter out a lot of the noise. It's very difficult for clients and prospects in my industry to filter all the information. It's changing every day. There's new products. There's new acronyms. For me, it's what I do. It's what I have been doing. I can filter through all of that. So when advice comes to me, to a client, and they ask me to give them my advice and my opinion, I objectively look at the information. If it's a hot stock tip, well, okay, let's take a look. And what are the profits? What are the earnings? What are the sales growth? What does the balance sheet look like? Do they have a lot of debt? How are they positioned in the industry? How are their competitors positioned? And very importantly, how is this thing priced? Just like you go to a grocery store, if you're investing in investment or buying investment, you'd much rather buy it on sale or at a discount. And what happens a lot of times is everyone's given the hot tip in the hot market, and and what do you know? Everybody already knows that, and the price is through the roof. And by the time you buy, you're left holding the bag, and things collapse, a few weeks or a few months later. So I try to be very objective. Let's look at the information, let's look at the numbers, and let's look at the alternatives and see how it stacks up.
Excellent. I believe you had a question for Wade Sloan.
Yeah, well, I wondered, what is anybody needing a financial advisor, or is there a certain minimum amount of assets a person should have before they seek out a financial advisor? In other words, are there any barriers of entry to somebody who was looking for advice?
Yeah, I would say that not for everyone needs an advisor. It really depends on the personal situation, the complexity of the situation. I think a lot of people could benefit from having an advisor. There's no real cutoff. It's not a whole lot different than going to an attorney to get your estate planning done, your will, your trust, your powers of attorney. They have things online that you can do yourself, or you can do your taxes. Some people can do the 1040EZ. They have a very simple situation. They don't necessarily need to hire a CPA. But I would say for anybody that has kids, has issues or problems deciphering their investments, or they don't have the time or the emotional makeup to handle their own finances, then I definitely think they should use an advisor. The most important thing is to, just like if you were buying a house or you're buying a car, is to spend the time to really understand what the trade-offs are, the costs of hiring an advisor. So it's not for everybody, but I think for most people, they could really benefit from putting in a retirement plan in place and feel more confident about what their financial future will bring to them.
At what age do you think people should start being concerned about their retirement plan?
Well, the most important thing for the younger generation, people out of college or investing, is to put money in their 401k accounts, because effectively, if there's any matching, you're getting free money from your employer. And the earlier you save, it's called a compounding effect. It's like a snowball. The earlier you start, the higher up the hill your snowball starts, and the bigger it's going to roll down at retirement. And the earlier you start, the better. So there's some simple things like that, or setting up an IRA account, individual retirement account, where you get tax deductions for contributing to your own retirement. So the key thing, even before getting into more of a retirement planning, is to save. And that's what we saw, especially with this financial crisis, is that people took on too much debt. They weren't saving. They weren't thinking about their retirement. Now everything's collapsed, and they said, "Oh, I need to start thinking about retirement. I need to talk to an advisor." Well, yes, that's true. It's not a bad time, but if you would have started earlier, it would have been a lot better. So, I would say, once you start getting up into the tens of thousands of dollars of retirement savings, then there's a lot more at stake, and the decisions become much more critical in how you're investing. For the younger generation, it's just very important to start saving, and 5-10 years later, you might consider hiring an advisor.
Yeah. What I find interesting about you, Wade, is that you speak English. You don't. You answer the questions in plain English. You don't go into a lot of deep terms and what have you that the average person won't understand. You don't seem to. You have lots of credentials, and I know that you speak deep financial jargon, but you make a sincere effort to make sure that everyone can understand, what you're telling people about. And so we're going to take a break here in just a bit, but I really appreciate that you're willing to do that. So when I want to remind everybody here that we're consulting to win here to coach people, and we'll be back in just a few minutes. Thank you.
Bring your company's website's visual presence to a new level with customized, cutting-edge site solutions. LandauDesign.com can maximize the productivity of your website. They'll analyze everything you have and then creatively design a customized plan for your website that includes search engine optimization, online marketing, easy content management, and measurable results. LandauDesign.com can boost your web presence so that you can draw more customers to your site and keep their attention, so they stay on your site longer. For more information, call 310-374-0670. That's 310-374-0670, or visit online at LandauDesign.com.
When you're looking for bedding, department store prices can shock you. Well, be shocked no more. Sell steak cheap, not cheap steak. That's the motto of Anna's Linens. Although they don't sell steak, they do sell the best bedding, bath, and home decor items. They strive to provide their merchandise at extreme value to their customers, and they do it. Great everyday prices on everything and military discounts. Plus, if you visit them online, they have clearance items and internet specials. Visit them online now at HealthyLife.net's advertiser page.
If you're like the 8 out of 10 women that say finding jeans that fit is a problem, well, your problem is solved. Lee Jeans has done extensive research, and they have jeans that fit. There's even an online Lee Fit Finder, so you can find the right fit for you. Imagine jeans that instantly slim you with a custom fit and no gap waistband. And guys, kids, Lee has jeans for you too. Click through to Lee's Jeans on the HealthyLife.net advertiser page and get what fits.
Put a little light in your life and keep it shining with Intellectric.net, a full-service lighting design company. If you need a top electrical contracting firm to deal with all facets of electrical, from concept to completion, including repair, call Intellectric.net at 310-838-5486. They can use green technology. They are home automation specialists, and they are high-end residential specialists. With prompt and efficient service, Intellectric.net has over 10 trucks, 28 employees, and on-call electricians available to handle your needs. Educated in state-of-the-art techniques and technology for all your electrical needs. Call dependable, innovative Intellectric.net today at 310-838-5486. Keep your light shining. Call 310-838-5486 or visit online at Intellectric.net.
HealthyLife.net for healthy side effects.
Welcome back. This is Ralph White and Bonnie Landau, and we're Consulting to Win, and we're here with our guest, Wade Sloan, the author of How I Managed $20 Billion by Age 32. And Wade is a financial planner and an expert in the arena of managing money and making money. And he's been telling us about how to create financial wealth, and definitely is an expert in that arena. I'm interested in, Wade, talking about how you're marketing your business, what your marketing plan is, and some of the things, we're very interested in, making money, but we're also interested in helping people that are in business in this arena in marketing. And I know that you're a very aggressive marketer. So how did you start out in creating your marketing plan?
Yeah, it's a very important part, and working with you, Ralph, has really crystallized my marketing plan as well. But and Bonnie touched upon it earlier. I mean, there's no doubt these are tough times, and what you really need to do is cast a wider net. You need to get more creative. You need to try things that maybe you hadn't thought about before. And, that working with you has really taught me or made me think more broadly and how I can get my message. But, it's really a multi-pronged approach as far as my marketing plan. And, one of the big legs of the stool was establishing my credibility. There are thousands and thousands of people that call them financial advisors. As I mentioned earlier, I'd call them salesmen, not advisors. But that's what I run into when I run into someone on the street. They say, "Oh, are you a broker like my neighbor?" And you say, "Well, no, not exactly. I've managed a $20 billion fund, got a master's degree, and all the other credentials." But part of that foundation is establishing my credibility. And so through working with you and coming up with my plan, establishing my book really caught people's attentions. And, although there are thousands and thousands of advisors, there are only a few people that have managed, tens of billions of dollars. And that was a way of differentiating myself. And so after that point, I was a credible professional and expert that people would answer my phone call. So when I got my ABC interview, or when I did, several other radio shows and another TV show, it was, oh, okay, well, yes, this is a published author, and he's done other media events, and, I see he's done some newspaper articles. So I just basically built upon that, and that's when I started my blog, and that was another leg of the stool to broaden my credibility and expanding my networks. More and more people are spending time online, and Bonnie knows that better than anybody else. And so establishing networks on things like LinkedIn and Twitter are another way of really leveraging your relationships and basically going where people are going, and more people are spending time online. So anyway, that's a long-winded answer, but there's a lot of different things that I'm trying, in addition to the speaking events that I'm doing on top of some of these other areas, and it's really casting that wide net and trying to get my message out, which is I'm a very differentiated, experienced advisor, and slowly but surely this message is coming across and creating results.
Wait, this is Bonnie again. Question for you. It sounds like you're doing a lot of things to establish your identity, or what would be called your marketing message. And one of the things I notice when people market, they expect a one-to-one return on marketing efforts. So they go to the chamber mixer and they walk out and they go, gosh, I had no leads out of that thing. And one of the things that I've noticed, and I wonder if you agree with this, is that marketing now has to change in the way we approach it, that we're not marketing to get a one-to-one return, but we're marketing to establish an identity, and that the collective effort of everything you do online, offline, and speaking and all that stuff creates a message that people start to hear it over and over, and then they say, okay, now I'm going to call them. So you don't even really know how many messages a person's heard by the time they call you. Would you agree with that?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, we live in a society that wants instant gratification, and that's just not how decision-making happens. And all these different marketing venues and strategies are creating a brand. So I'm building a brand for my firm. I'm building a brand for Wade Sloan, and especially for my industry. And I think it to a certain extent applies to all industries. There needs to be a level of trust and people are not going to buy just from, as you said, one single introduction or one single message. And just to give you an example, I have a client who she became my biggest client through my newsletter. So I have a monthly newsletter, and I send it out monthly, and I've been building my database. And as it turns out, this client that I'm talking about received it from a friend of my wife who passed it on to her. And, from that, I have gotten not only my largest client, I've gotten multiple referrals, I've gotten a speaking engagement, and I have a very happy client that's evangelizing my services to a lot of other top clients. But, this didn't happen overnight. This happened over months. And as you said, these are seeds that you plant, whether you're doing a mixer, a newsletter, or writing on the web, or speaking at an event. You just don't know what's going to happen 1 month, 3 months, 6 months, or a couple years from now.
Excellent, excellent. And I really want to acknowledge you, Wade, because you've taken the coaching and you've been willing to put the time in to do what it takes to make it happen. So that I really, you've really put the effort in to make that happen. So that's awesome, and it's producing results for you. So we're going to be taking a break here, and when we come back, we're going to be talking about our whole life matrix and talking about a segment on it on marketing and sales. We'll be back in just a minute.
Imagine Possibilities Unlimited. Well, they're here, and they want to help your business. Possibilities Unlimited offers the best business consulting and coaching that provides incredible results. Ralph White and his team of experts bring a variety of experience and expertise to your business. Discover how their whole life matrix can positively affect your personal and business life. Focusing on key challenges, they'll devise a customized plan and give you the support you need every step of the way until you achieve your intended results. Call Possibilities Unlimited today at 310-372-8538. That's 310-372-8538. No business is too big or too small. Possibilities Unlimited can help them all. Call now at 310-372-8538 or visit consulting2win.com. That's consulting2win.com.
Oh man, it never fails. My suitcase just got ripped apart.
Life is a journey. Make it a pleasant one. Use Samsonite. You know the name. For almost a century, Samsonite luggage has proved itself to be the worldwide leader in innovative travel solutions. Let it be yours. Visit HealthyLife.net's affiliate Samsonite on our homepage and click to look at the fine luggage from suitcases to golf travel bags. And don't forget, take a look at their travel accessories. Make life a journey, a pleasant one, with Samsonite.
Whether your business is in products or services, one thing you need to be successful is sales. And now you can take the mystery out of selling and discover how to consistently produce top sales results with Possibilities Unlimited 8-week Sales to Win course. The Sales to Win course can be attended by anyone from anywhere because it's given by conference call. You'll be taught by top sales and marketing experts all about the sales process, and you'll be given top techniques and tips. It's all simply broken down for you and presented in a stress-free environment. But the best thing is, it's so affordable. It's money well spent because you'll make even more money back with your increased sales. Don't wait. Enroll in the Sales to Win course for yourself and your sales staff right now. You won't want to miss this opportunity to raise your bottom line. Call 310-372-8538. That's 310-372-8538.
HealthyLife.net, the positive radio network.
Welcome back. This is Ralph White, and this is Consulting to Win with Bonnie Landau, one of the staff consultants, and our guest today is Wade Sloan, a financial advisor with Sedoxia Capital. And this segment, we're going to be talking about our whole life matrix. And if you're interested and you want to follow along on that, you can check it out on our website the URL for it is consulting, the number 2, win.com/matrix, MATRIX. So the whole life matrix is a model where we've looked at the different aspects of life, where we've looked at the 4 different quadrants: financial viability, relationships, personal awareness, and health and well-being. And we look at those 4 areas are essential to having a balanced life. And we've wrapped those around with time, that nothing happens unless it's put in time. In other words, whenever you're doing something, the one element that's always present is time. So there's a period of time always present when you're doing something. So we find that most business owners, or frequently people go into business to have a higher quality of life and to have more time and make more money. And where they end up is with less time, so they speak, and with less money. And we're looking, we coach people to have a different paradigm for themselves. And how they accomplish that is how they schedule their time and how they manage it. And because you have 168 hours in the week, and if you want something, it's going to have to show up in that 168 hours. So Bonnie and I are looking at this, and today we'd like to talk about the quadrant in the financial viability quadrant. And in that quadrant, we've divided it down into 4 segments. And in those 4 segments are profitability, production and delivery, resource management, and marketing and sales. And today we're going to talk about marketing and sales. So Bonnie, that's your specialty. What do you have what's some insight that you could share with people on marketing and sales?
Well, I think especially in this economy, people have to understand that your marketing effort is how you're going to reach your clients. And I think in this paradigm, people contract. They say, oh my gosh, I need to save my money. I'm not going to market. But remember, the less you market, the less you're going to reach your clients. And as we were talking in the previous segment, you need to market more, not less. Well, then how do you do that when you don't have the finances to budget your marketing? And you have to get creative. You have to think of ways that you can market that are outside the box. The traditional ad may not be the right approach. And as Wade was saying with his business, he doesn't look at every marketing effort as a single opportunity to produce results. You look at it collectively. I think the other thing that's really, really critical is businesses have to look at every person in the business as a marketer. They are salespeople in the business. And so you need to change the way people are approaching their jobs. If they have any contact with people on the outside, you need to think of ways to turn that into a marketing opportunity. But I think it's really a different way of looking how to spread the word. It's not the traditional, I'm going to do TV ads, I'm going to do print ads, I'm just going to join the chamber. You have to come up with creative ways that the entire company can become involved so you can cast that wider net.
Right, definitely. It's really creating opportunities for sales. Every business needs to work on creating a bigger pool of opportunities for sales. That's the key element. You can sell, people, telling someone that's in the sales department, just go sell. That's very difficult to do if you don't have an opportunity to sell. And the opportunity must be with someone who has a need for your product and has the money to buy your product. And what I've observed is that the money has moved. That in the first quarter of this year, the money stopped moving. So that it's almost like the money went under the mattress, and it wasn't moving in the economy. And so it was very hard to find where the money was. The money has started moving. I'm not the financial planner expert that Wade is, but my observation is the money is moving. There's still, Wade, would you agree with me? There's still the same amount of money on the planet as there was last year.
Yeah, I mean, we live in a $14-15 trillion economy. So, despite what you're reading in the headlines, our country, our economy is generating $15 trillion of business every year.
Yeah, so that's a lot of money.
Yeah.
That's a whole lot of money. So it's really identifying where the target is. I consider it, I define it this way. If your business is like a cannon and you've aimed the cannon at a bullseye and you're used to shooting at that bullseye and hitting it, and then the target moves, 30 degrees to the right, and you're still shooting at the old bullseye and you're not hitting anything. You need to redirect the cannon. You need to move it. You need to redesign your business. Your business may not be viable the way you've done it for the last 30 years. And the companies that are not adjusting, the ones that are not, changing their model, are the ones that are having the most difficulty. You've got to really take a look at it. A lot of businesses have downsized. A lot of businesses have changed what they've done, reformulated themselves. I actually have businesses that have changed their model, changed the structure of their business, and are making more profit now than they've ever made in the history of their business in this marketplace. And they're like in awe of, I never realized I could make this much money with this few of people in this business, out of changing their structure, changing their model. They just are astounded that that was a possibility. So it's really redesigning your business for profit. The three things that I've told people in the first quarter is, number one, restructure your business to make a profit under the current conditions. It's a basic rule of business. Thou shall make a profit. If you violate that rule, you will lose the right to do business eventually. I don't care how much money you have, you will eventually lose that right to do business. The second thing that I say to do, anything that's not working in your business, dump it. Get rid of it. Look at it. If your business was a boat, throw it overboard. If it's a system or a structure or an employee or a product, whatever it is, you need to let it go. And when we come back, we're going to take a break here. When we come back from the break, I'll let you know what the third thing is. And in our last segment, Bonnie's going to talk to us about social marketing. We'll be back in just a few minutes.
There are 3 wise women at Possibilities Unlimited, and if you want to improve your business's bottom line, you'll want to get to know them because they want to help you with your business, and they can. Wise web woman Bonnie Landau will help make your website the best it can be. She'll help you with all web-related things, including social media. Wise marketing woman Mary Mullinoff wields her magic to find and obtain sales leads for you, and she'll help you identify and qualify prospects. Leanne Farmer, wise work life woman, hones your customer relations, communications, and sales skills as she teaches you how to manage your work and life in balance. There are options of coaching with one or all 3 wise women. Get to know them now. Call 310-372-8538. That's 310-372-8538, or visit consulting2win.com. That's consulting2win.com.
What does HealthyLife.net and Amazon.com have in common? Well, they're both available on the internet. They both give great value. But most important, most of our positive program hosts and guests are accomplished authors, and their books are available from, you got it, Amazon.com. Now, it even gets better than that, because when you're listening on air to a HealthyLife.net host or guest, you can go directly to Amazon.com and you can order your book while you're still listening to your favorite HealthyLife.net program. So when you hear an author you like, go to the homepage of HealthyLife.net and click on Amazon.com.
Demystify the world of social marketing and get it to work for you. You can maximize your market potential in sales, and Bonnie Landau of Possibilities Unlimited can help. Discover how to use Twitter, LinkedIn, and more to market your business. Learn how to expand your prospect base, improve your web presence, but more importantly, get results. Your possibilities are unlimited. Social networking can impact your bottom line in a positive way. Find out how with Bonnie Landau of Possibilities Unlimited. Call today at 310-372-8538. That's 310-372-8538 or visit consulting2win.com, consulting2win.com.
Now get worry-free shopping for window treatments, decorative rugs, bedding and bath items, furniture, lighting, wall decor, and more. You don't have to leave home and fight the traffic. You can buy online from one of the most trusted brands in America. Try Sears Showplace on HealthyLife.net's homepage. Satisfaction guaranteed and there's no hassle returns. Try Sears Showplace today because they service what they sell, have protection plans, and you can even get parts and accessories. So for worry-free shopping and great items, visit Sears Showplace now.
All positive talk with a mature edge. HealthyLife.net.
Welcome back. This is Consulting to Win, and I'm Ralph White, and we're here with Bonnie Landau, a consultant on staff with Possibilities Unlimited. And our guest today is Wade Sloan from Synoxia Capital, and we're talking about marketing and your business. And we've just finished a segment on our whole life matrix, and I said that I would give you the third point that I've been coaching people in the first quarter this year. And the third point was that you should market 10 times more than you've ever done before. And that's, so you should, be marketing your business. And in this segment, Bonnie's going to talk to us about your internet presence.
Well, first, Ralph, I just want to comment on what you said, that, it's really critical these days for people to change their business paradigm. But sometimes when you're in the middle of that, it's really hard to see what to change and what opportunities exist. And that's really where a coach can help, because a coach is an objective observer. And the coach will bring to you ideas that you may never have considered before. Would you agree with that, Wade? Have you had that experience using Ralph as a coach?
Yeah. I mean, the great thing about Ralph and having a coach is he's effectively my outsourced business partner. And, I have support staff helping me, but they can't think strategically and, to use the cliche, outside the box. And that's what Ralph can do, just as you said. Business owners and entrepreneurs, they can tend to get fixated and solve problems and look at problems in one particular way. The great thing about having a coach like Ralph is that he gives you a whole new perspective and ideas, because he's worked with so many people and seen so many problems, and gives you a fresh perspective.
That's great. That's great. So we were talking about marketing and different ways to market. And in this economy, sometimes people don't have the budget to market. So they think, oh, well, I'll build a website and I'll do it online because that's free, right? Well, not exactly. It takes time. It takes time to market online. And one of the areas of expertise that we have at Possibilities Unlimited is helping you establish your internet presence through different kinds of marketing channels, like optimizing your website, search engine optimization to get you up in the rankings, or utilizing social media. But before we even start with how to market online, the first thing we always say to a client is, what's your internet presence say about you? What people don't realize is, if your name has ever appeared anywhere on the internet, and I'm not talking about the LinkedIn profile that you created or the Twitter account that you manage. I'm talking has your name ever appeared in an article? Have you ever been listed as an employee at a company? Have you ever signed something on a message board? All of these pieces are components of your internet presence. And there are websites like ZoomInfo that go out and glean these pieces of information, and they compile profiles of people. And so the first thing we say to people before you go out and start marketing on the web is, go out and find out, what does the internet say about your company? What does the internet say about you or your employees? And you need to go and investigate this internet presence and understand what's already been put together, so that okay, the internet already says this, and guess what? This piece is wrong, but this piece is right. And then you can start plunging in and saying, this is what I got to do to fix what's wrong, and this is what I can do to promote what's right. And this is how I can build on it to create a greater internet presence. Well, how do you do that? How do you find out what the internet says about you? What do you think, Ralph?
Well, I would Google myself.
That's a good start. That's a great start. But how do you Google yourself if your name is John Smith? How many of those would come up?
Lots. So I'd look at whatever is connected with my name. If I was a coach, I'd put John Smith coach, see what, or Ralph White artist, next to it to see, to come up with that. However, I happen to know there happens to be 2 Ralph White artists that come up.
So basically, when you're searching in Google, it's just like when you're trying to narrow down on any topic. If you have a common name and you're trying to find out about yourself, then you put in keywords that relate to you. You might, if you own a business, you put in the city that business exists in. Or if you're just looking about yourself, you put in the name of the city you live in. Perhaps there's companies that you've worked for, and you can use that keyword in addition to your name to find out information. And once you Google yourself, start looking at what's out there. And then you go to those websites, look at profiles they've compiled on you. And then you'll start seeing what websites are compiling information on people. And even if you found a profile through Google and you went to a specific website, do another search on that website. ZoomInfo is a great example. Sometimes they can have 2 profiles with different spellings of your name, or maybe they put your middle name in one and not in another. So definitely do searches on any website that compiles information. And what do you do if the information is incorrect? This happens. ZoomInfo, it's very common. ZoomInfo, you can actually claim your own personal profile as an individual. They do not yet have it so that you can claim a company profile. So you have to email their tech support. I've done it, and they will fix the erroneous information if you can show them evidence that it needs to be fixed. But it's really important that you keep on top of your internet presence. Just because you did this once doesn't mean it ends there. You need to do it every month and find out what is happening with your identity online. This is particularly important if you sign blogs. Sometimes people put comments on blogs and they're angry about the topic, and they may not use the nicest of language. But you got to remember that when you're posting a comment on a blog, that's going into the internet world of eternity. It's never going away. And so you need to know that when you are putting any information that you've attached your name to online, even if you're angry, you need to do it in a way where you think, okay, this is my identity, and this is an identity that I'm not going to be standing next to somebody to say, well, I didn't really mean it that way, or I was mad at the time. So you really want to think about how you put yourself out there and be really clear about what kind of a brand that you're establishing. And this goes one level further. If you own a company and you have employees and they use the internet under the name of your business, you need to have an internet policy. You need to talk to them and put it in writing and say, look, this is the brand that we're trying to put out with our company. So if you have, okay, we're going to take a break right now.
So we'll be back in just a couple of minutes. And this is Consulting to Win, and you can check us out on our website at www.consulting2win.com. Thank you.
Bring your company's website's visual presence to a new level with customized, cutting-edge site solutions. LandauDesign.com can maximize the productivity of your website. They'll analyze everything you have and then creatively design a customized plan for your website that includes search engine optimization, online marketing, easy content management, and measurable results. LandauDesign.com can boost your web presence so that you can draw more customers to your site and keep their attention so they stay on your site longer. For more information, call 310-374-0670. That's 310-374-0670, or visit online at LandauDesign.com. Whether your business is in products or services, one thing you need to be successful is sales. And now, you can take the mystery out of selling and discover how to consistently produce top sales results with Possibilities Unlimited 8-week Sales to Win course. The Sales to Win course can be attended by anyone from anywhere because it's given by conference call. You'll be taught by top sales and marketing experts all about the sales process, and you'll be given top techniques and tips. It's all simply broken down for you and presented in a stress-free environment. But the best thing is, it's so affordable. It's money well spent because you'll make even more money back with your increased sales. Don't wait. Enroll in the Sales to Win course for yourself and your sales staff right now. You won't want to miss this opportunity to raise your bottom line. Call 310-372-8538. That's 310-372-8538.
Uplifting Talk. HealthyLife.net.
This is Ralph White with Consulting to Win, and we've had on our guest today, Wade Sloan. And Wade, if someone wants to work with you, how can they reach you?
Well, a great place to start is my website, which is www.sidoxia, S-I-D as in David, O-X-I-A.com, and people can download a free copy of my ebook, or they could go to my blog, investingcaffeine.com, and you can sign up for my free newsletter. Beyond that, if anybody wants to see if they're a qualified prospect and would be interested in learning more about my services, I can be reached at my offices in Newport Beach at 949-258-4322.
Excellent, excellent. Thank you very much for being with us today, Wade. This has been Consulting to Win, and you can check us out at our website at consultingtowin.com. And if you want to send us in any requests for for us to discuss topics on the show, you can send that to Ralph at consultingtowin.com. Thank you very much for joining us, and we'll be delighted to be with you next week. Thank you.